watching WHTM, ABC 27. Now, live from the station working for you, this is ABC 27 News at 6.
The board that oversees Pennsylvania casinos suddenly ends an investigation of itself.
The state has hundreds of lawyers, so why spend millions more on a Philly firm?
And after racist flyers were found throughout Cumberland County, we look at the state of hate in Pennsylvania. Good evening, I'm Dennis Owens.
I'm Alicia Richards, glad you're with us. We're going to begin tonight with a growing chorus of complaints at the state capitol about a culture of pay to play. That's those who make big political contributions to get the biggest state contracts.
And one example, lawyers who've given lots of money to campaigns but get even more work more money in state work. And critics shine a spotlight on a Philly firm near and dear to Governor Rendell. They say too near and dear. 1735 Market Street. It's home to the law firm of Ballard Spahr. It reaches more than 50 stories into the Philadelphia skyline, and it reaches into state coffers in Harrisburg. At the request of ABC 27, the Treasury released these documents showing it has paid at least $11 million over the past 2 years alone to Ballard Spahr for outside legal work.
They did wonderful work. They worked very hard.
And they have a special relationship with Governor Rendell, who used to work there. His former Chief of Staff, John Estey, and former Deputy Chief of Staff, Adrian King, currently work there. Ken Jaron, a Ballard Spahr partner, was on Rendell's election committee, and records show he personally contributed nearly $100,000 to the governor's campaigns. Ballard Spahr LLP, the company, donated $500,000 more.
I think it's obscene. I think it's offensive. And I think that everyone should start looking very carefully at how this governor has worked the state government for the benefit of a few select individuals down in Philadelphia.
Certainly smacks of cronyism and smacks of political back-scratching, and the ties are pretty deep and wide with that law firm and Governor Rendell.
House Republicans are critical of the contributions for contracts culture. They call it pay to play.
Those who get state contracts are expected to play the game and make political contributions to decision makers on those contracts.
Here's a list of the staff attorneys the governor has at his disposal. There are nearly 500 of them, and they cost you more than $44 million a year. Representative Glenn Grell was one of those attorneys under Tom Ridge. He said there are legitimate reasons to hire outside counsel, but winced when told some of Ballard's lawyers billed the state at $500, even $600 an hour.
The going rate, I believe, when during the Ridge administration for any outside attorney, I think was capped at $180 or $185 an hour.
You wouldn't hire a surgeon by finding the lowest bidder. You would find the surgeon that was most qualified to perform the kind of surgery you needed. The same thing is true with lawyers.
The state treasurer writes the checks and, in theory, monitors how your tax dollars are spent. After Treasurer Bob Casey left for the U.S. Senate, Governor Rendell appointed Robin Weissman to the post. Or should we say, Mrs. Ken Jaron, wife of the partner at Ballard Spahr. Mrs. Jaron oversaw payments to Mr. Jaron's law firm.
I'm not about to say that there weren't some perhaps improper things that took place before Governor Rendell was elected, but it has mushroomed into a prevailing culture now within the state capitol.
Robin Weissman is no longer treasurer. Ballard Spahr officials declined to comment for this story. We should point out they also contribute to Republicans, most notably Attorney General Tom Corbett, who may very well be the next governor. And we have to acknowledge Harrisburg native and author Bill Kiesling, who provided some of the background for this story. You can find his work at yardbird.com.
The critics say it looks like cronyism, and everybody might react to $600 an hour. Billing the state that much money in this day and age is tough to swallow.
It is indeed, and that is what we found.
Yeah, good story.
All right,
Dennis, thanks very much.